It is time. It is time to brew your best beer. Brought to you by Beer Grains Supply Company, BrewTubers Online Brewers Club, Brew UK, Panhead Brewery, Tanner Ritchie, Finney's Homebrew Emporium, Brig Selv, Hackney Brewery, Hashigo Sake, Mangrove Jacks, Sprig and Fern Tavern, Yakima Valley Hops.
Okay then guys, good evening. A little earlier tonight, I don't have to be quite so quiet. Welcome, I think this is number 9. 8, 9, 10, somewhere around that. By the way, it's fantastic fun. So tonight, I have a raspberry vanilla wheat beer, and it is CL015GB, 6% ABV, 330ml. I think I have a good idea who might have brewed this one, and all I can say is you could have given us half a litre, but I'm not going to be biased. It's about the quality of the beer, not the quantity, so in the interests of moving on, we'll go for the usual protocol here. So it's crown cap, glass bottle, listening for the old hisseroo. A little bit of a hiss. There is a touch of smoke inside. Oh, I could smell that from a good couple of feet away. Anyway, let's go for this pour. Oh, looks like it has a lovely colour. A little bit of yeast at the bottom, not too much head, but there's a decent level of carbonation in there. So here we go. Can you see that? Some bubbles rising. So let's go back to our regular distance. So I'm going down on some aroma first. Now, there's definitely that wheat beer, yeasty kind of bready aroma dominating. And I'm also getting a good hit of raspberry, which is nice. Not picking up any vanilla on the nose, I don't think. Maybe a hint. I can't smell any hops. Or if I can, they're being masked. But yeah, the overriding aroma is that of a wheat beer. The kind of bready yeastiness that you'll often get. It doesn't say what style wheat beer is, whether it's a German one or a Belgian, or I guess the fact that it's got some fruit in it and some vanilla, that it's probably leaning more towards Belgian than German, but we'll see. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, I always say ooh as soon as I drink one of these, don't I? Because I try and come up with a different kind of exclamation for the next beer that I do. I'm following that. Now, this is quite tough to decide. Not decide, to describe. There's a really interesting juxtaposition of flavours going on here. Sorry. There is that yeasty, bready sort of breadiness that you get from a wheat beer, and there's a background bitterness, or I don't know if it's almost bordering on a sourness, but it's not a sourness that would come from you know, a beer that's conditioned with bacteria like lactobacillus or something like that. I think it's a sourness which probably comes from the raspberries, so it's got a different quality from it. Not that I'm saying that the raspberries are sour and horrible, it's a pleasant sensation. In terms of hops, I'm guessing there are some hops in there. I suppose there must be to balance the wheat, but I couldn't tell you really how much and certainly what kind. I'm sure there's no late additions to the kettle. It's very clear for a wheat beer. The head's kind of dissipated. They can sort of force it back a little bit. Excuse me, that went down the wrong way. That was nothing to do with the beer at all, that was me. I guess the one thing that perhaps is missing a little bit is there's a real big fruity kick to this, which I've had in some other fruit beers before. That said, this is a much more thirst-quenching and refreshing beer. So maybe that's just a different category, and we should be judging it as such. I find it almost drinks like a lager. There's a light body, you know, nice fizzy carbonation. There's the alcohol in here is very, very well masked. You wouldn't know that there's any alcohol in it at all, really. So I'm pretty impressed, to be honest. A very good beer and a really interesting style as well. So you know, it's great to have the really traditional British things. You know, like an English bitter or an English style ale or something like that. You know, just malted barley, water, hops and yeast. That's always a winning recipe, but it's really nice to get something a little bit different. You know, wheat beer with extra ingredients and some different flavours in. So whoever brewed this, and I think I know who you might be, thank you very much. It's really nice. I will think on about this while I'm editing the video, I think, and I'll be straight onto market as well. Cheers, guys.